we're taking a look at 5 kids with real, unusual superpowers that have left the whole world in shock. Hasna Muslimani, the girl who can cry out of glass. Hasna Muslimani, a young girl living in Lebanon, started making headlines a few years ago for crying. But let me tell you that these tears weren't the same as yours or mine. Hasna actually cried tears of glass. It all happened one day when the girl was 12 years old and started to feel something sharp poking her eye from the inside. Things got so bad that her mother had to rush her to the hospital, where the doctors pulled out 3 pieces of actual glass from her eyes. Since her return home, Hasna has reportedly shed around 7 to 8 pieces of glass daily, to the point where she has gotten used to the pain. Now, that's a miracle if I've ever seen one. Nikolai Crealiachenko, the real-life Magneto. This boy from Russia will definitely make you believe in superheroes, because he can be a character straight out of a Marvel comic. Magneto, to be exact. Nikolai noticed that he had developed a weird kind of magnetism within his body after being hit by a blast of electricity when he leaned against a faulty lamppost at his school. He went about his day as usual, but soon he started to notice that metal objects like rings and spoons were starting to stick to his body, as if it were made out of metal. According to Nikolai, his strange powers made him feel just like Magneto, who could generate magnetic fields at will. According to his doctors, it was also possible that the boy must have swallowed something magnetic, which is what was making all of this happen. But really, no one has any explanation for what really made all of this happen. Yan Jinlong, super strength. At the age of 7 years old, Yan Jinlong from China was strong enough to pull the weight of an entire car. Sounds unbelievable, right? But you better believe it, because it's true. The young boy began to show his super strength when he was just 9 months old and had managed to lift a barrel of oil that weighed 11 pounds. Over the years, his abilities only got stronger, and he grew up with physical strengths that were beyond any other child his age. Not only is he able to pull cars along, but Jinlong can also manage to lift his very own father up in the air without breaking a sweat, and likes to carry heavy sacks of grains on his shoulders, just for fun. Deepak Jangra, the real-life Electro. Another human superhero hailing from India is Deepak Jangra, who is at the age of 16 years old discovered that he was somehow immune to high-voltage electric currents. Deepak discovered his hidden superpower when he was fixing his mother's heater and managed to touch the live wires without feeling anything. Initially, he thought that there was a power outage in his house. When he managed to do the same thing again and again, Deepak knew that this wasn't something ordinary. He soon discovered that he could resist up to 11,000 volts, which is roughly the same amount of electric current used to power 500 houses. The boy can also touch live wires with his bare tongue and feel nothing. Over the years, Deepak has tested his powers again and again for them to stun him and the people around him every single time. Nandana Unikrishan, the Mind Reader. Known as India's autistic miracle girl, Nandana stunned the world when she proved that she could read her mother's thoughts and feel her emotions without her saying a single word. Call it a coincidence or some deep mother-daughter connection, but Nandana's mother, Sandhya, claimed that her daughter would always know what was going on in her head. Oftentimes, the mother would be thinking of preparing her daughter a meal, and Nandana would come up to her knowing exactly what she was about to make. This unusual telepathy is only limited to her mother, though. But even then, it's pretty interesting to wonder what the reason behind all of this really is. That's a wrap for 5 kids with real superpowers. Which one of these kids was your favorite? See you next time with something new. Until then, goodbye.